There's a silent storm gathering inside McLaren, and it doesn't come from Red Bull, Ferrari, or Mercedes. No, it's brewing between two of the sharpest young drivers on the grid, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. After a dominant 1-2 finish in Miami, with over 30 seconds of advantage over the rest of the field, McLaren is no longer chasing, they're leading. And now, the biggest threat to their future might not come from outside, but from within. Just 16 points separate Norris and Piastri in the standings. And ironically, that's the same distance between Norris and Verstappen. What does that mean? That this could soon turn into a full-blown title fight between teammates. It's not the first time we've seen this. F1 history is full of team rivalries that turn toxic. Hamilton versus Rosberg, Alonso versus Hamilton, and Piastri knows it. When asked if McLaren could face something similar, he replied with a smirk, "We said we'd try to repeat 2007. Is that just dry Aussie humor or a subtle warning? Because when teammates become title contenders, someone always cracks first." And today, we dive deep into the battle that could define McLaren's future. Oscar Piastri versus Lando Norris, a rivalry that might not explode in public, but is definitely heating up behind the scenes. It's a rare moment in Formula One when a team finds itself with not one, but two drivers capable of challenging for the title. And it's even rarer when the car gives them both the chance. That's exactly what's happening at McLaren in 2025. In Miami, Norris took the spotlight with a sensational victory. But don't forget, Piastri was right there too, showing pace control and consistency all weekend long. The gap between them, just one race result. And here's where it gets interesting. Piastri didn't dismiss the rivalry. He embraced it, not with bravado, but with awareness. "It's always been a tight fight between us," he said. "There'll be weekends where Lando is stronger, and weekends where I'll have the edge." Those aren't just polite words, they're a quiet declaration. Piastri knows what's coming. He's not here to play second fiddle, and neither is Norris. After Miami, both drivers were asked a simple but loaded question. Could we see a Rosberg vs. Hamilton-style title fight inside McLaren? Lando Norris didn't take the bait. He kept it short, almost dismissive. "Time will tell," he said, looking away. No smile, no tension, just cold restraint, like a driver trying not to add fuel to a fire he knows is smoldering. But Oscar Piastri, he leaned in, not aggressively, but with a dry smirk that said more than words ever could. "Yeah, we said. We tried to repeat 2007. That reference wasn't accidental. Every F1 fan knows what 2007 means. It was chaos. Alonso and Hamilton both to step into that battlefield, even if the enemy is dressed in the same orange overalls."
This rivalry isn't speculation anymore. It's real, it's personal, and it might already be underway.
Let's talk performance, because when you dig into the numbers, the Piastri versus Norris battle gets even more intriguing. They're not just close in points, they're almost identical on track. Sector times, qualifying pace, tire management, the margins are razor thin. In several races, Piastri has been just hundreds behind Norris and quali, and in others, he's edged ahead in pure race pace. According to Piastri, both drivers share very similar strengths and weaknesses. That's not a brag, that's a warning.
9 times out of 10, he said, whoever leads after turn 1 will stay ahead. Why? Because overtaking in these cars isn't just hard, it's nearly impossible.
When both drivers are in equal machinery with matching setups and pushing the same limits, this means track position, pit strategy, and team calls will define who wins each internal duel. And in a title fight where McLaren can't afford mistakes, even a small hesitation from the pit wall, a delayed tire change, a misjudged undercut could turn teammates into enemies.
Right now it's respect, but when points and pride are at stake, it doesn't stay that way for long. On the surface, McLaren looks united, smiles in the garage, congratulatory radio messages, a team celebrating progress after years of chasing shadows. But look a little closer, and you'll see the cracks forming. This isn't a team managing one rising star, it's a team managing two. Both young, both hungry, both believing this is their year. Team harmony is easy when you're winning together. But what happens when the stakes rise? When one driver feels sacrificed for the other, when pit stop priority becomes controversial.
When strategy just happens to favor the driver ahead. Piastri and Norris may respect each other now, but make no mistake, they both want to be the number one. And deep inside, McLaren, the leadership, knows it. The engineering team walks a tightrope every race weekend, trying to keep both sides happy while chasing the constructors' title. There's no clear favorite yet, but that might change. All it takes is one moment, one team call, one bad stop, and suddenly this friendly rivalry becomes an internal war, and McLaren knows exactly how badly that can end. Every rivalry has its trigger moment, that instant when tension turns into conflict. And with Norris and Piastri, it might come sooner than anyone expects. It could be a late call in the pit lane, a poorly timed undercut, a team radio where one is asked to hold position while the other charges ahead. It could even be a wheel-to-wheel battle that leaves just a little too much tire smoke and not enough space. So far, we've seen maturity, but the Miami weekend revealed something more: urgency. Norris finally broke through for his maiden Grand Prix victory. That changes everything. He now sees himself as a genuine title contender, and Piastri, he's no longer the rookie, he's just
16 points behind within striking distance. He knows this car could give him a shot at the title too. And he knows what happened in 2007 when teammates took points off each other and lost it all. The difference now? Both drivers are smarter, but they're also more ambitious. And if there's one thing Formula One teaches us every year, it's this: teammates don't stay teammates for long. When the championship is on the line, McLaren is in a rare and dangerous position. They finally have a car that can fight for wins, maybe even for a championship. But now comes the hardest part: keeping both drivers focused on the bigger picture, without tearing each other or the team apart. So what do? Do they let Norris and Piastri race freely, knowing full well it could lead to fireworks later in the season? Or do they step in early, choose a number one, and risk destroying the chemistry that brought them this far? There's no easy answer, and history hasn't been kind to teams that get it wrong. Mercedes nearly imploded with Hamilton and Rosberg. Red Bull had to manage Vettel and Webber in chaos. And we all remember the scars of 2007. For McLaren itself, team principal Andrea Stellar must now walk a fine line: reward performance without triggering division, maintain fairness without appearing indecisive. The truth? This isn't just about driver management. It's about championship survival. Because if McLaren waits too long to act, they might lose control of both the title and the team. So here we are, 2 drivers, 1 car, a team at the top, and a storm on the horizon. Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris aren't just the future of McLaren. They're shaping the present of Formula One. Their battle is quiet for now, but it's full of pressure, full of pride, full of purpose. And as this season pushes forward, there's one thing you can count on: the tension will rise, the gap will shrink, and eventually, the masks will come off. The question isn't if McLaren will have to choose sides, it's when. And when that moment comes, will they make the right call? Now we want to hear from you. Who do you think is better equipped to lead McLaren to a title? Norris or Piastri? Will this rivalry stay respectful or explode like so many before? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Join the conversation. And don't forget to subscribe to F1 Prime News for more stories that go beyond the paddock. Because the real fight is just getting started, and we'll be here for every lap.